Crib, got it, job on it, did I ever?
Good morning, good morning, good morning. I just want to come up here for a little story time, a little quick story time about, things that I went through in the past. I can now speak on them, laugh on them, because I've moved past that lesson learned, and I can just speak on it. Because I know it's probably other women out here that have been through the same thing. But before we get into this video, if you are not a single mother and you do not have a baby daddy and your baby daddy ain't shit, this video is not for you. And my videos are especially not for men. Especially when they don't, they can't comprehend what I'm saying or what I've been through. It's not for you. It's also not for the oh so perfect people. Baby, go ahead and leave. I'll give y'all a minute to, click on off the video and go find your tribe. But I'm not it. I'm just going to keep it a buck with you. Y'all go ahead and click off. Now, if you want to stay, that's fine. But I'm just letting you know. Okay? All right, let me get into my story. So, start from the top. So, in 2017, my baby daddy was going off to prison. So, I applied for HUD. It's like, it wasn't Section 8. It was like low income housing, because my dumb self, we were living together, and basically he was paying all the bills and I was working like just a little bit, but my income wasn't really that much. Again, putting my life in the hands of a man. Don't ever do that. So we were living together, and then he was about to go away to prison. So I signed up for HUD, got the letter in the mail, went through that whole process, yada, 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 got approved, moved into HUD housing September 2017. Y'all, when I went to my, I guess you got to do like an orientation interview type of thing. When I went there, y'all, they had already pulled up the mugshot. Like, they had everything in this folder, basically everything about my life. Basically, they had everything in this folder about my life, more so about his convictions and his mugshot, yada, yada, yada. So, one thing they told me in the meeting or whatever, they was like, whenever he's due to come home, just if you want him to stay there, basically you just have to let them know. But if we find out that he's staying there and you have not told us anything, then we are going to evict you, no questions asked. You'll have X amount of days to move out. I'm like, okay. Fast forward, he gets out 2019. I'm doing the right thing now, y'all. I'm doing the right thing. I take him up there because he used my address to come home. He was on probation, yada, yada, yada. We went to the meeting when he was out. He's going to be staying there. They told him the stipulations. One of the stipulations was, okay, we know you're just coming home from prison. If you catch any charges while your name is on the lease, your kids and your baby mama will be put out. No questions asked. All right. He agreed. Whatever. Fast forward a couple months in. I don't really know. It wasn't long at all. It was okay, he came home October 2019. And I think he had left January 2020. I still got the picture in my phone, matter of fact. So I called. I'm like, I added this man to the lease. He's not staying here. He has left. We're having problems. Can you just take him off the lease? They was trying to say, oh, no, we can't take him off the lease. If you're going to do something like that, we're just going to have you move basically to the hood. And I was not staying in the hood. They call him like a scattered site, and it was a house. So I'm like, no, I'm not about to do that. So I just took a chance and I just stayed there. Like, I wasn't about to move to the hood with my kids. It wasn't happening. So fast forward again. Like I said, he left January 2020. Child, September 2020, he caught more charges. And it was time for me to renew my lease. Okay, it was time for me to renew my lease. I renewed my lease. I didn't add him. I was like, he's gone. It was like, oh, we just need a letter stating that he gone. I turned in all of that. These people called in a meeting. They even came by the house because like every year they do an inspection to the house. They came in, whatever. And my son was crying. Well, let me back up a little bit. It was now time for my reevaluation. And like I said, September 2020, he got caught with more charges. So my dumb ass, I gotta tell the whole story. We can't be leaving stuff out. My dumb ass, although it was not my money, it was his money. I took his money, bailed him out. I think he sat in there for like 2 months because September he got the charges and he didn't come home till December. So he sat in there like 2.5 months. So I bailed the man out, but it was not with my money. It was with his money. Went and bailed him out. And he was living back at the house. I was dumb. He was living back at the house. It was time for my reevaluation. And like I said, they come in and inspect the house. And my middle son was crying saying, Daddy, why would he do that? I don't know. So that was like, the lady was like, oh, so Dad must be staying here. Okay. So I guess they wrote that down. Then came my reevaluation to to renew the lease. They went and pulled them, looked them up. Them charges came up. They're like, we found this. You have X amount of days to be out. I even went for a meeting and showed them. I still have all the evidence in my phone. I was like, this man was not living here when this happened. I did bail him out with his money. They weren't trying to hear that. They're like, you still got to go. I'm like, okay. But the moral of the story and why I'm telling this story is, after all that I have done for my baby daddy, and after being dumb, even when he left, right after he got home from prison and went and started living with another female, and I'm over here with your children, and I put you on my lease for you to come home for your probation. Dumb. I was young. I was manipulated. And it's like, I'm just always putting myself last. Like, I'm not, it's like I don't even be thinking about myself, because when the tables turn, nobody's there for me. The story gets juicy. Like I said, this man came home in 2019. He left January 2020. September 2020, he caught drug charges. He came back into my home December 2020. Public housing did my reevaluation, and they saw the charges. I went for my meeting. I brung the lease. They weren't trying to hear that. You got to go. Do you know this man did not help me pack my house, get a storage, find somewhere else to live? Where was he? with the next female. I'm only telling my story because you got to be careful who you have kids by. And plenty of people say it, but it's the truth. As a man, what real man would come and cause chaos and havoc in somebody's life? I've done nothing to deserve what I've been through. But I will say this, I put myself in those positions when I should have known better. I should have put me and my children first instead of a man. Because at the end of the day gonna end, and guess what? A man gonna always put himself first place before any woman. So you always have yourself, you always have backup plans, and never depend on a man to do nothing for you. Pay a bill, pay your car note, find you somewhere to live. Don't depend on them for nothing. Depend on your damn self. Because they gonna let you down every time. And it took me years to learn that. I'm like, okay, he got me. No, baby. He don't got you. You need to have yourself. He ain't got you. And I'm not mad at this person anymore. Like, I'm not mad at my baby daddy no more because it's happened. It's the past. It's 2024. This stuff happened so many years ago, but it's just my testimony. Fast forward 2024, I'm no longer, I haven't been with my baby daddy since 2020? And since then, this man has had more children, and they are all under the age of 3 as of today. One of them will be turning 3 this year, and then the other one will be turning 2 this year, but they're all under 3 years old right now. So yeah, not only what did this man leave our family of 4, well, me and my 4 kids homeless. Not only did he do that, he went and created more families while I'm homeless and don't have nothing. Well, only thing I had was my car. And eventually, I just had moved back home, and I stayed back home for like 2 years. Fast forward to today, I pay my own bills in my own apartment. I'm not on public housing, Section 8. I'm not on any of that stuff. I get up every day and go, well, not every day. I get up on my days I have to go to work, and I clock in, and I clock out, and I go home, and I do what I have to do for me and my kids. And I have been alone for so many years. It doesn't even bother me anymore. Like, self-love is the best love, and I don't want nobody coming into my life causing chaos and havoc, disruption, distractions. I just don't have time for it. And this is my testimony, and I know other women probably have similar stories. And ladies, you could do it. You could do it. You do not need a man. You could do it on your own. Yes, it is hard. But my thing is, we should not have to settle and deal with the bullshit. You don't have to settle. Of course it's hard. But if you know God and you know how God works, God will make a way out of no way. And that's what he's done. That's what he's done for me. That's what he's doing for me. And that's what he's going to continue to do for me. And I am going to continue to have faith in the God that I know. And only him. Because can't nobody stop nothing that God has planned for you and your life. Not your baby daddy, not his other baby mama. Nobody can stop God's plan. So I hope ladies don't get caught up in that lifestyle of a drug dealer. Your life will be spiraling. Go date a man. that get up and go to work every day that will provide. Because guess what? When that money gone, when that man locked up, the money's gone. And if you ain't got no backup plan, honey, you gonna be running around with your head cut off like a chicken. Go find you a good wholesome man that's blue. I guess we call them blue collars. Go find you a blue collar man and leave them drug dealers where they at. And I thank God throughout the time that I was with this man, I didn't get caught up in the bullshit. And let me tell you how God works. When my baby daddy got locked up in 2020, the female that he was living with, guess what? She went down with him because they ran up in the house. And I always look back and say, I thank God it wasn't me. That could have been me. My kids could have been snatched away from me. I could have been in jail or prison behind a man. But I was smart enough to let this man go and do whatever he had to do, whatever his heart fulfilled. And I always said in my head, I said, you know what? You could do what the fuck you want to do, because guess what? When you get caught up, it's going to be you and whoever. And it wasn't me. So I thank God for that. God really be looking out for me. Like, we may not, we don't, as people, we do not, I don't think we thank God enough for the little things. Because that could have easily been me. In handcuffs, mugshot, going to court behind a man, and clock this tea. That female that got caught up with him back in 2020, he had a baby on her. Yeah, the timeline is adding up perfectly. Because when he went to jail in 2020, then he left in December, his baby was born that next June of that next year. Yeah. Clock that tea. These men ain't shit. They will come into your life and try to bring you down and drag you through the motherfucking mud. Hope you guys enjoyed my story time, my testimony. I know some ladies out here that most single mothers can relate. If you can, drop down in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Do not forget to hit that subscribe button. Show your girls some love. And remember, y'all, self-love is the best love. And stay fuck nigga free. I will see y'all in the next video.